Fight the fight. So,
hello guys. Let's talk some Riverdale.
Is that all your intro is? It's like, hi, Riverdale.
It's a show.
It's a show where things happen. Oh, yeah.
So this is like a series that we've decided to talk about shows that like are not really first reaction or fan reaction-y because we're watching them together.
Right.
In a way.
Yep.
So we decided we're going to do this thing called Let's Talk, where we basically will, the best way we can, recap a season of a show so that you're ready for the next season because it's probably going to be coming up soon.
Yeah. Yeah, and Riverdale is coming up very soon.
I think it's like October or something.
I'm not sure when we're posting
I have the
this.
Wikipedia page
I'm probably going to post it 1 or 2 weeks before the premiere. So.
Okay, so it's October 11th.
October 11th?
So we got about a month. Yay.
But it doesn't really matter to you guys because if you're watching this, it means it's out.
I know, right?
Yeah, and we're actually filming this whole discussion thing, which is newer for us. You probably already saw, if you watch our channel, you probably saw the Death Note review, which is going to be out before this.
Yeah.
We just did that last night, so this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we're probably going to put out the reaction because we watched the final 2 episodes.
Yeah.
It was sort of...
That's going to probably be up before this.
It was sort of a first reaction, fan reaction kind of thing, because I had seen episode 12 before Kaylin had, so I watched her first reaction, but then episode 13 neither of us had seen, because we kind of lost track of the show.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we're talking about Riverdale, which is a show that exists.
It's on the CW.
It's on the CW.
Which really says all you need to know about the show.
I feel like the CW's gotten better, though, at shows.
I think a lot of the shows that come out recently, I don't even know which ones, but it seems CW used to be kind of like that show, but now it's like that show. Of course, it always had Supernatural on it, which can go either way depending on what your thoughts on Supernatural are. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Me talking about what I think about Supernatural. So
we're not getting to that yet.
We're not going to get into that.
So we're going to talk about the first season of Riverdale, which came out on the CW. Based off the Archie comics.
Yes, and this is interesting because you've read Archie comics.
Right? I read Archie comics. I read them when I was like a kid/teenager.
Okay.
It wasn't like a thing like I picked up a issue every week. I kind of just got the big digest thing.
Yeah.
I would just read that, and I've got one on Betty and Veronica. I got one on Archie. I got one on Jughead. Mm-hmm. So I know these characters pretty well.
You're familiar with these characters.
Yeah.
I never really read Archie comics.
Yeah.
So I've read some things about the characters, like whenever there was kind of not a big news story, but if they were doing something that was kind of new, I would pick up, I would hear things from it. Mm-hmm. So I had some kind of familiarity about certain things. Mm-hmm. I'll probably touch upon that later. But I really didn't know these characters. I really never read Archie comics. So this is we are kind of a first reaction, fan reaction in that sense.
Yeah.
You're already familiar with things and I'm really not as much.
Well, I mean, granted, familiar.
But not too familiar.
Comparing Archie to Riverdale.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so I kind of want to get my feelings on what I thought the show was initially going to be.
Yeah, definitely share.
Because I heard of that they're trying to make a show based in the Archie universe for a while.
Yes.
If you ever read an Archie comic, it's very kind of comedy, kind of hulky, kind of I think it was originally made in the 50s or something. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of very tongue-in-cheek and very sitcom-y, kind of
right.
There's this thing happening and then there's some shenanigans happening and then it all ends in a joke. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. There is some continuing thread lines like the Betty Veronica Archie love triangle. That's the thing, it's a thread line, or that Veronica sometimes dated Reggie, and then there's Moose beating up Reggie and Jughead eating a lot of burgers and being lazy.
Right.
Thread lines that were character development and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out. And I think there were actually some storylines that I've read about. Mm-hmm. There was a zombie one, there was they're trying to get a more modern one. There's Big Bet was I think the Predator at some point.
Right. And I from what I heard, in more recent history, they have kind of ventured into more serious storylines.
I read actually there was one series that I actually read and it was Veronica was dating this bad boy. I read a couple issues of that.
Okay.
And then Archie and him got into a wrestling fight.
Nice.
Because
fight.
He was being a dick. I forget the guy. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I heard about the show, and for some reason, I thought it was going to be on before it became Freeform ABC Family.
It does feel like that kind of show that could be on Freeform.
I thought
it
was going to be that, and I did think it was going to be a comedy, especially when they announced that Cole Sprouse was going to be on it, because obviously us being young fans of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Right, we were right in that demographic when that show came out.
I'm pretty sure I've seen almost every episode of that show.
Same, probably. Actually,
it's a fun show.
It was a fun one.
But that and so I'm like, oh, I thought it was gonna be in the vein of like a half an hour sitcom kind of thing. It was kind of gonna be like a spoof or like parody of like Saved by the Bell.
Oh,
that's what I kind of thought this was gonna be.
That would have been a good show too.
It would have been a good show.
Yeah,
and like it would have
like purposefully over the top.
Show.
Yeah, very like purposely over the top kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I mean, not over the top as Riverdale, but so then apparently I think it was I was watching Black Nerd Comedy, and he had the trailer up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, so they actually are doing the show, and then he said it was completely different, and then I'm watching the trailer, and I'm like, oh, this is a CW show.
Yeah, it's a CW show through and through.
Yeah, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, okay, so this is what the show's gonna be. It's either gonna be genuinely horrible,
yes,
or just like this like great train wreck of a show.
Yeah.
And then watching the whole thing, it feels a bit of like a tiny train wreck.
Yeah.
There is
especially in the first few episodes.
The first few episodes are super train wrecky.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like, they kind of figured out what they were doing a bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, they've got some like decent dialogue. Like it is kind of like, I would say it's like more like candy, like junk food for me.
Oh yeah.
Definitely like that.
Yeah.
So like, I would watch the show just because like it's just like this show's bad shit.
It is. It really is.
It's just bad shit insane.
It really is. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my thoughts on the show. It's like it's not as train wrecky as I thought it was gonna be, but there are some bits that are like really good, and the fact that they kind of seem aware of what it is and how kind of train wrecky it is, and the fact that like everybody does actually have really good chemistry together.
Yeah.
It kind of works in a way, and I'm so excited for season 2.
Yeah.
Caitlin, what are your thoughts?
Okay, no, that's a very good setup.
I have feels right now. We just finished watching episode 13.
Literally just finished. Like, if you watched that reaction, we're wearing the same clothes because we literally just finished filming that like 5 minutes ago. So yeah, it's interesting because like I knew of Archie comics. I knew they did stuff. I heard they were making a show where it was like a dark spin on things, and like that's usually when your eyes start rolling and you're like, all right, we're gonna do a dark and gritty reboot. I feel like there's so many. It's kind of a trend now to do dark, gritty reboots of everything and doing it of an old school like newspaper comic. Okay, I guess. And so yeah, I think we both went into it because we watched those first episodes together.
Yeah, it was if anybody's seen our 50 Shades Darker like a Batman reviews, like Kayla got to see me, and then we saw those movies. Yeah. And then we stayed up till like 4 a.m. watching the first 4 episodes.
We watched the first 4 episodes of Riverdale, which is so much fun. And we couldn't stop watching it. We watched the first one and we're like,
we gotta keep going.
Well, we gotta keep going. And the funny thing about Riverdale is that like I thought it was going to be one of those so bad it's funny kind of things, and it's part of it is that like it goes so over the top with some stuff that you're like, this is so dumb and so ridiculous, I have to keep watching. And then but it kind of goes into a place where it's not so bad it's good, it's just like so its own thing that it's enjoyable. So it's really weird.
Yeah.
Because I find myself, I really enjoy this show, and I'm not saying it's like a good show.
No.
But it's like an over-the-top teen drama, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
It's kind of like
so much
I feel
fun.
like if we got like a bunch of people together, some fun, like some snacks and some booze, and just like let them watch a whole series.
Yeah,
we would have it'd be a good time.
We'd have a really good time. Yeah, you can just like, it's fun to like yell at the characters and to like mostly Archie, especially those first 4 episodes. We were just yelling at Archie the whole time.
And like I was kind of comparing them to like what I thought about like from the comics, what I remember, and like. Because we're bringing up Death Note, like, adaptation stuff, because this is definitely not I know, like, they've gone the way darker thing. I know they actually made, like, a sort of, like, prequel comic to Riverdale.
Yeah.
So, but I was thinking, like, but I remember them being all, like, hunky-dory, and, like, Archie's just kind of, like, he's got a sweater vest, so he's wearing a bow tie.
Yeah.
He's, like, adorable, and, like, Betty and Veronica are, like, kind of adorable, and Jughead's just, like, this, like, lazy bum who's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Cheryl's there. Being Cheryl.
She's there.
She's there. Sometimes hooking up with Archie, who knows?
Who knows?
Archie hooks up with a lot of women in the comics.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. But, like, so I was thinking, like, because I remember the Death Note adaptation, like, you guys were, like, kind of, on the fact that the adaptation, it was, like, kind of different.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, with this, I don't care that it's so different. It just, like, because it's, like, so, my thing is just, like, if you're like you're you're different, but you're still trying to like act like you're the same thing, and you're not, and like you're not. Like they do have hints of like this is what we're doing, but I think that it's like so different from the comics that it works, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with the fact that this is so different, and I like it.
Yeah. It's hard for me to piggyback off that because I don't read the comics, so I can't say anything. But it does. I feel like this stands on its own.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so you can kind of enjoy it regardless.
Yeah. Do you want to? Okay, we're gonna try to break down the season as best we can.
Okay, yeah, trying to spend too much time on it because if we're used to only doing like 1 or 2 episodes of something, and now we're about to like break down 13.
Well, I think I kind of just want to bring up like some of the basic like plot lines, and then we can go like through like the characters because that kind of like helps a bit.
Yep.
So also, can I was thinking about this like how important are the first 4 episodes?
Some main stuff happens.
Main stuff happens, like nothing big happens, so probably till like episode 5.
Okay. We're gonna have to rehash these things.
Because the big thing, the big plot point that they were kind of advertising was like the fact that Archie was having an affair with Miss Grundy, which I was not okay with forever.
No,
I'm still not okay with it because like in the comics, Miss Grundy's like 60.
Right.
They definitely like dropped her age in the show,
sexy.
And then they bring up a point like in episode 4 that like, oh no, she actually like stole this.
Yeah, she's not the real Miss Grundy, and then they had a picture which was,
and that looked like Miss Grundy.
Yeah.
So that she stole somebody's identity, and I'm like, okay, she's still having sex with a student.
Yeah.
Who's 16, and it's like I was trying to think like, oh, is this kind of like a actual thing where it's it's actually like a love story kind of thing where it's like it just kind of happened. But like if you actually watch the episodes like with Miss Grundy and her kind of saying to Archie like, don't tell that you're at the beach because of like the whole thing with Jason Blossom's murder, which we'll get to. She keeps like manipulating him, saying like, well, then we can't be together. And I'm like, oh, so like this is just like you're just emotionally abusing this kid.
Oh yeah, she's like emotionally and sexually manipulating like
a 16-year-old,
a minor throughout the whole first like quarter of the series, and it's messed up. And like it's not handled handled well because it's when it comes to like fruition, it's like, okay, you just have to leave town. Like not like this woman should be arrested for statutory rape.
Like how is Fred Andrews like not super like want to punch this woman for like for abusing his child?
Yes. And
also she's got heart-shaped sunglasses. What adult?
And then like in her last scene in the first season, she looks like she's about to go prey on another kid again. Like, yeah.
So I'm just like, what the heck?
I think she's coming back. Can we say that?
I don't know.
She's got to be coming back.
But I don't know. Well, like, why? What would happen? What would bring her back?
I don't know. They didn't wrap up her storyline, that plot line in a way where
I feel like
done. She's got to be coming back.
Here's the thing about the show that I feel like this feels like a first season of a show where they have ideas and then they kind of realize they didn't work out and they try other things and because it feels like there's like a bunch of stuff happening at once.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like they were trying to figure out what they were doing. So, if Miss Grundy never came back, I wouldn't be surprised. Because it felt like they had this idea, and it wasn't really working out, and they had these other ideas. So, let's just drop this and do that. But, like, there's stuff that got dropped. Yeah. Like, literally, like, they were advertising that there was, like, a feud between Archie and Jughead. That's dropped.
That is dropped. Yeah.
So dropped.
You forget about that easily. Where there was like something that happened between them and you're kind of interested. Because,
by the way,
like, apparently they used to be like really good friends. And
they're best friends.
Yeah, and then like later on they're like, oh yeah, we're best friends. But I'm like, something happened and then we don't really talk about what it was.
No, we know what happens. It's the fact that Archie bailed on Jughead to go with Miss Grundy.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a dumb reason to be upset with a friend. Hey, sorry, I'm bailing on you to get laid. Get over it.
I don't know. I'd be kind of pissed.
Really? Yeah. That's not like I betrayed your being. I'm just like, I'm gonna go get laid.
Yeah, hey, don't.
I'm a 16-year-old boy.
Okay.
There's a hot teacher. She wants to bang me. I'm getting banged.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that was a really weak kind of thing. It was just kind of like there just to like set up where everyone was at the beginning of the season, but like didn't really go anywhere. So that was really weird.
So yeah, like that's what I'm thinking. Like I know there's like plot points that got brought up, mainly with there's like the two biggest plot points are Jason Blossom's murder.
Yeah, that's the big one.
And then there's like this whole business thing, which I really couldn't keep track of.
It was
weird. Businessy. Like
the business stuff was like it was kind of there and it wasn't there at the same time.
It was
more like alluded to than it ever was like actually explored.
I think that was a way to get the adults involved.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Either way, because like if it's a business thing, then the adults are not involved in any way. Because basically, there's like a drive-in theater, which I know that Jughead lives in because Jughead's homeless.
That was such like a good early season reveal.
Poor baby Jughead.
With like the drive-in, and then he's like really passionate about the drive-in. They're like, oh, why? And then you find out at the very end of the episode
that he lives there
because he's homeless, and that's only the start of the tragic
life of Jughead Jones.
That only gets worse as time goes on.
Oh my god, it gets so much worse.
This poor tortured.
To be fair, he's technically not like homeless. He just doesn't want to live with his dad.
Yeah.
Who I don't blame him.
No. After we meet FP Jones.
Oh, FP Jones.
Yeah. What a whole thing that is.
Oh, FP. YFP.
YFP.
But so like this whole business thing. So the servant basically trashed the drive-in.
Yep.
And they need somebody to buy it. Turns out Veronica's mother and father buy it. By the way, because technically this was also different because Veronica moves in as like the new girl.
Right.
Which wasn't the case. Like they always all knew each other.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting because like her family was originally from Riverdale and then they left.
I think her mom was from Riverdale. Was her dad from Riverdale? I thought her mom was. Because they said like the house was in her name.
So. Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So I thought it was just her mom was from Riverdale.
Her mom was from Riverdale.
Might have had a thing with Fred Andrews.
Definitely had a thing with
Fred Andrews.
Yeah. But yeah, that is So she's the new girl.
So then so then they buy the land, and then they want to get because at that point she's macking on that Fred Andrews.
She's all into that Fred.
Yeah,
who isn't though? Fred Andrews, just a good dude.
Probably the best parent. He's in Riverdale.
The best parent in Riverdale because I think Archie's mom is like one of the only sane adults.
Also, technically,
in the series, but she's not. She's not in Riverdale.
I forget his name. Oh, did I never give him a name?
Who?
Sheriff Keller.
Sheriff Keller. Oh yeah,
he's a good parent, but
he's a sheriff.
No, Wikipedia just says Sheriff Keller. He doesn't say his name.
But there is also that kind of thing where like Izzy like kind of siding with the Blossoms kind of thing that they kind of accuse him of being like being biased towards one side or another.
I feel like he's trying to do the right thing.
He's trying to do the right thing. Yeah. I'm fine with Sheriff Keller.
But there's like this whole the business thing, and then because Hermione Lodge is macking on Fred Andrews, she wants to give because Fred Andrews owns a construction company, wants to give the construction thing to them to Fred. So then she forges Veronica's name. For a while, she seemed like a normal parent, and then she just turned into a bitch.
Yeah, well, she became kind of not obsessed, but she became very concerned over the control of the company and more focused on the business side of things. So she was willing to kind of do some shady stuff to kind of keep their name as clean as they can at that point, because Veronica's dad is in jail for all kinds of
money laundering,
embezzlement, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then there's this whole thing of which kind of ties back into Jason Blossom's murder. Yeah. Just figuring out did the lodges hire the serpents,
Southside serpents,
to kill Jason, because we find out that the Blossoms are the reasons that Hiram Ledge is in jail. Yeah. So that whole thing. So that's it just got really confusing after the whole business thing. I really
a lot going on.
The main thing is Jason Blossom's murder. Yeah. Basically, here's what happened. Him and his twin sister, they're twins, right? Yeah. Twin sister Cheryl. On July 4th weekend, they went to what's the name of the river?
Sweetwater
River, and they basically they rowed out on a rowboat, kayak. No, not kayak.
It was a canoe.
Canoe. Thank you. Yeah. And then she is basically found by Dilton Doily. This is okay. I'll sidetrack one quick. This is kind of why it's hard to take a show seriously. It's like a drama show. You have a character named Archie and Jughead and Dilton.
Dilton Doily.
Dilton Doily.
Yeah, they still have the names.
All the names are the same.
Very, 40s era kind of comic strip names. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm trying to remember I don't know how to say Jughead's real name.
It's Forsyth, right?
Forsyth, yeah. Forsyth Jughead Jones III.
And they don't even call his dad that, they just call him FP.
Well, his name's Forsyth too. I don't know. Because we don't get a character of Jellybean, so I don't remember Jellybean's real name. But I might actually look it up. But basically, so then they wrote it, and then Dilton finds Cheryl just soaking wet and basically saying that Jason drowned. So then we don't think he drowned. They look through the water. They can't find him, so he's missing essentially. Yeah. Then we open up on the pilot, which takes place probably around the first day of school, so September. Yeah. And near the end of it, Kevin and Moose, which I found weird because like they were trying to say like they were hooking up, which comic-wise it doesn't work.
Right.
I never actually read a story with Kevin in it. I think he's recently new, but he was like in the comics he was openly gay. But Moose always...
Well, I think I read something like he's not like new, but like
he's not like new, but
decades.
Like... Yeah. It wasn't like in the 50s.
Yeah.
But anyway, Moose always had a girlfriend. And her name was Midge, and like the joke with him was just kind of like he was kind of like an idiot, but like he dated Midge, and Reggie would always try to hit on Midge, and then Moose would beat him up. That was always a gag. But they find Jason Blossom's body in the Sweetwater River, and he's got a gunshot in his head. So definitely, probably didn't drown. Probably gunshot. So then we keep going. Betty's trying to figure out what happened because it might involve her sister Polly,
right?
Who's now we thought for a while was in like an insane asylum.
And she was crazy.
She was dating Jason.
Yeah.
And I thought the idea was that, like, she knew about the murder and that just, like, kind of... Or, like, not the murder, the drowning. And she snapped. Because Coopers are crazy.
Coopers, all of them. All of them are bad.
Even Betty. Even Betty.
Yeah, she got
We'll get to that.
Okay, we're going to address
that. But Betty...
Okay.
Be crazy.
She crazy.
Yeah. So, that was a thing. And then we find out later on that Jason Blossom did not die on July 4th weekend. He died on like a week later. So they want to arrest Cheryl because she lied. Basically, we find out that like Jason was supposed to fake his death, and then in like a month, he's going to contact Cheryl and say like I'm okay, and then she never did, and they never did, and so Cheryl basically says all this, and she says she heard a gunshot July 4th. Which is how Archie gets involved because he also heard the gunshot and then kind of like saves her ass. And it's like, hey, like I heard this too.
But he can't say why because he was at the river banging a teacher.
Here's the thing. He could totally say why though. If like a student gets caught banging a teacher, the student is not in trouble.
Yeah, that's the thing because they act like through the whole like first part of the series they're like, oh, if Archie gets caught, Archie's in serious trouble. No, he's a minor in this situation. He is considered the victim. Like, God.
Yeah, no, I wasn't laughing at that. So I found out Jellybean's real name.
Oh, what is it?
Forcina? Right? What is up with this family?
I hate this goddamn comic.
Why do you think they keep... And apparently he also has a cousin named Souphead.
Well...
Oh my God, somebody bring Souphead into season 2. I don't know who he is.
Played by Dylan Sprouse. Yes! Please. Is
Dylan Sprouse still acting on him?
I thought I read somewhere he was going back and acting.
Okay. I believe... I don't think that's going to happen.
There's no way he can't show up in Riverdale.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe
they might want to do separate things.
They may, and I respect that. But also,
anyway,
with the type of show Riverdale is,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the plot. So, God, the show. I love my train. Okay, so then, yeah. Archie could totally do whatever he wants because, like, they would see him as the victim, which he is.
Yeah,
totally the victim. Miss Crunchy's a bitch. I hate her.
Yeah, not a good person.
No. And like there was like a whole there was another setup too saying like she also had like she was like tutoring Jason Blossom in music as well. Which is also dropped.
They were exactly because she had like some weird connections to Jason Blossom because one she was tutoring him and like another she had the gun in her car.
She had a gun in her car.
She had a gun in her car.
Not the gun.
Wasn't confirmed either way if it was the gun or not. Did they say it wasn't the gun?
Well, no, it wouldn't make sense if that was the gun.
No, it wouldn't make sense. Like later on. But still, like she had a gun in her car and like they set up like all this kind of weird stuff totally dropped by the end of the series.
That's what I'm thinking that like...
In the season.
I don't know.
I still think she's coming back.
I don't know.
All right.
If she does, I'm not going to be surprised.
We're going to say it now that, all right, we'll see who's right here. I think she's coming back. Dare thinks she's not.
I don't think she's coming back, but if she does, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, she's back. I'm not going to be surprised. That's my thing. So I got her back to the plot. So yeah, that happens, and then Betty and Jughead are like getting more into figuring out what's happened because Betty just really wants to know, like, wants to find her sister basically. Because she thinks that's involved, and she gets all Nancy Drew.
She does.
If they make a Nancy Drew movie, I think Lily Reinhardt's her name, who plays Betty.
Yeah,
they need to cast her as Nancy Drew.
I think so, and not Emma Roberts. Who do you ever see that movie?
Yeah, I don't hate that movie. It
was fine.
I read like one Nancy Drew book as a kid, so I'm just like, eh.
I think I read one page of a Nancy Drew book as a kid. I had like 10 books, and I only read like one page.
Well, good for you. I read some Bobbsey twins.
Nice.
And boxcar kids, whatever. Anyway, so then her and Jughead are on the trail to figuring out kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happens. And then because I think they're trying to figure out something. Oh, because like the main like plot of like trying to figure out what happened to Jason Blossom kind of happens in episode 5 with his funeral.
Yeah.
And then I just remember Jughead and Betty, they go in and they go to, I think it was the parents' room or Jason's room to try to figure out if they can find anything.
Yeah. I don't think it was the parents' room. I think it was Jason's.
Okay, and then the crazy grandma shows up.
Yeah, the crazy grandma.
By the way, also the Blossoms are crazy. They're more crazy than the Coopers.
Oh, yeah. The Blossoms are insane. And we kind of see that unravel as we go on with the series.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end of that.
And then, basically, she's got, like, dementia or something, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Did they say that outright? Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. And basically, so then she thinks that Betty is Polly and reveals that Jason and Polly were engaged.
Yes.
And apparently, Betty's family was, like, not okay with, like, Polly dating Jason Blossom.
Right.
Which we'll get to later.
For reasons that will be discovered later, and that reasons that, that kind of makes sense.
I have a feeling about that. Anyway.
Woo.
So then, I think for a while, like, because there's a point where, like, literally anybody could be the killer, except for Fred Andrews.
Yeah, except for, God bless Fred Andrews.
Anyway. So she kind of thinks, like, her dad might have done it, and then you get this whole reveal of, like, that great-granddaddy Blossom killed great-granddaddy Cooper.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Great-granddaddy Blossom.
They killed each other over syrup.
Syrup.
Who
knows? It could have been syrup.
At some point, probably.
At some point, it was a good, clean business.
At some point. Yeah, and then, but then they figure out actually where Polly's staying. She's not staying in a sales sign. She's staying at like a
weird
Catholic Christian.
It's like a
sister place.
Yeah, like a house of the sisters, something.
Something like that.
Yeah, some
convent.
Kind of convent.
Kind of. And she's there, and so she's not crazy because we learn, but she is.
She's just kind of prego.
She's pregnant. With Jason's baby, with a very big pregnant belly, as we pointed out.
She got a big belly. A big fake-looking belly.
Fake-looking belly. And it's kind of like, oh, that's why they hid her away. Betty had no idea that her sister was pregnant. And also, Polly didn't know that Jason was dead.
Yeah, she had to tell him that one.
Yeah.
Awkward. Hey.
That was fun. And then other stuff happens in that episode, but we'll get to that when we talk about characters.
Yeah.
My opinion. And then also, Polly escapes, like, from this home. Which, like, I don't know how pregnant she is. I feel like the runaway thing happened in July, so they probably knew she was pregnant. She's probably like a couple months along.
July.
So it's probably like, I'm thinking it's around like October maybe.
Yeah, she's like probably like 5 months.
And then we reveal later, I think we can reveal now she's having twins.
Yeah.
So like it would be a bit bigger. So how would you escape like a 2-story?
She's a ninja.
With like, I don't know.
She's a ninja.
She escapes. There's a little bit of blood. So they try to find her. She's at the house, the Cooper's house.
Yeah.
Basically, and also the Coopers reveal that Polly's pregnant, which kind of because the Blossoms want to find her too because they think at this point that she killed Jason. Which whatever. But then they find that she's pregnant, which also like puts Polly in the game. And also documents like she can't be killed because she's got some of that pure ginger blood in her.
Very pure. Very refined.
Oh my god, this is insane. And then there's like this whole other thing with like the serpents, and because they find a car that Jason was supposed to get, and there's like drugs in it, and there's a Leatherman jacket.
They find the getaway car,
which is then burnt up.
Yep, burnt down. And
so then we find out that Jason, in order to get the money to leave, was going to sell drugs.
He was selling drugs
for the serpents, who are run by FP, which is Jughead's father. Jughead's father is a character on its own, and there's like this whole, and there's like you focus on the feud between the Blossoms and the Koopas for a while, and it's insane. And then Polly says, "I'm gonna go stay with the Blossoms," and like everybody's kind of upset until they realize, I don't know how smart this was, but she does it because she wants to like spy on the Blossoms.
Basically, she thinks they had something to do with Jason's murder, so she wants to get that.
I'm not sure how smart that was.
She wants them deets.
I'm not sure how smart that was.
Them deets. Well, like, this is where I think I really start to like Polly, because originally I thought she was, you're like, is she crazy? Like, does she even exist? Because there's so many episodes we don't even see her. They're like, does this bitch even exist? I don't even know. So, and then you kind of see her and she's in hysterics because a lot of different reasons that are all very justifiable. And then when
hormones and the fact that her baby daddy's dead.
Yes, exactly. But as she kind of starts coming more into the story and being like a real player, she seems like more of a cunning kind of person. Like she's a lot like Betty in the sense that they will, they want to find the story.
They are raised by her mother.
Yeah.
Who is crazy, but like she's fun.
Yeah. But yeah, you hate her at first, then you still kind of hate her at the end, but like she's fun.
I kind of decrease my hate with her.
Yeah.
Just because like you figure out that she's somebody who kept a lot of secrets.
Yeah. Like she's not a good person.
She's not a great person.
But like
she's fun.
Kind of fun.
She's fun.
Yeah.
And then we just keep learning more, and we find out basically FP gets arrested for the murder at one point.
Yes.
Because,
this is towards the end.
Yeah, this is towards the end.
Mm-hmm. And he confesses too.
He confesses to it. They find a gun. They find the gun in his lockbox.
Yep.
Which is interesting because Archie and Veronica went earlier and searched the trailer, and they didn't find a lockbox. Yeah. And they said search everywhere because the trailer.
Yeah.
So
it's not.
So they find so he confesses to he confesses to like letting Jason do a pickup for him and giving him money. Mm-hmm. He says that he figured out who he was. I don't know how it took him so long to figure it out.
How many people in this town?
How many gingers are there?
Not a lot of gingers.
Well, actually, there are a lot of gingers.
More gingers than, your typical town, but still not like a ton of gingers.
Yeah.
At the Blossom family, then you got
But he had like a Letterman jacket that said Jason, and like the most famous Jason in the town is probably Jason Blossom. Anyway, so he finds it out. I think, because I was kind of confused about this whole thing, because he said he kidnapped him. Mm-hmm. The confession was he kidnapped him. We decided to do like a ransom thing, which is really dumb on FP's part, kind of. And so was thinking about doing a ransom, and then said Jason got away and he shot him. Yeah, cleaned up the basement of the white snake. Is that what it's called?
A white worm.
White worm, and then hid the body. Because then this happened a week after July 4th. They hid the body until they were done searching, and then dropped it.
Dropped it back in the lake.
So that's what he says.
On shore. Yeah,
I kind of figured that he was lying. Mm-hmm. A bit.
Yeah, because it was at that point we were only on episode 12?
12. So
and
like
it was a little too clean. Like it
was super clean.
It was a little too clean. Everything kind of wrapped up a little too nicely. So everyone was like, "This can't be true." Like it was kind of too good to be true at that point. Mm-hmm. Like a guy with like a criminal background is admitting to this whole murder, did it single-handedly, and with everything that goes on in this town, it can't be right.
No. So then they find out there's one phone call with this like younger guy, Joaquin, who was like kind of dating Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin Keller, the son of the sheriff.
Yeah, and that was the one phone call because they had like I forget the word, like not like a get out thing, but like insurance. They had insurance basically.
Okay, yeah.
And then they had this other guy who died of a drug overdose. What was his name?
Overdose. Mustang.
He died of a drug overdose. And then also before, because Joaquin gets out of town, before he leaves, he says here's where the Letterman jacket is. Yeah. And then in the Letterman jacket,
they had a contingency plan. That's what he told him.
They find the Letterman jacket in a hole in the pocket. They find a flash drive, and the flash drive is there's one part where Joaquin's telling a story and they're cleaning up the body, and you see FP kind of hide something, which is clearly it was a security camera, right? And you find out that yes, he was.
Jason was a security camera.
He was kidnapped in the White Worm, and that his Clifford Blossom, his father, killed him.
Yes. He's the murderer.
Yeah, also we didn't really bring this up, but it actually has nothing to do with the murder, which is that technically Polly's babies are incest babies.
Yeah, we get the reveal of incest. Yeah. There wasn't enough drama in this show.
I was trying to figure this out. I think they're technically second cousins.
It's more than that, third.
No, but it's great. It's just one. It's his great granddaddy.
Great. Okay, wait. I have to draw. Wait, I have to. I just saw a chart that details
Yeah. I think they're second cousins.
Yeah. Second or third.
Which, granted, considering how much Game of Thrones I watch, is not that bad.
Which is really that's just a really bad comment to kind of say. It's I watch enough shows with incest. I'm fine with this.
I'm not fine with it. Granted. I have a point about this, the whole incest thing. Okay. Which is hey, you know that this is a thing. You find out that, like, your daughter's dating, like, this family which you're kind of related to.
Yeah.
Tell your kid.
You should definitely make that known.
That needs to be known.
Don't hide that.
That needs to be known.
Because you know they're doing it.
Exactly.
You know they're doing
Especially we know from episode 13, everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it. Everybody's just kind of like, they're all doing it.
They're teenagers. They got hormones.
Like, they want to frick frack.
That was a really weird scene. We'll get to it. Anyway. So, and then we find out the real story, which is basically, because basically Clifford Blossom hangs himself.
Yep.
And we find out the syrup barrels, because at one point you just, like, showed us, like, was, like, put into the barn thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, syrup!
There's just syrup everywhere. And it was so funny because, like, the mom is like, this is the thing. And I'm like, what? I like, I told you, like, as we were watching the show, I'm like, what? Is it, like, secretly imported from Canada or something? Is that the big secret? Because that's kind of a letdown. But it wasn't that.
No, it was heroin.
It was heroin.
And a bunch of other stuff it looked like.
Some drugs.
So, but yeah, basically, they succeed. They kept, like, everything's going by, you know, dealing drugs. Mm-hmm. And Jason found out about this, wasn't okay with it.
Yeah.
Probably found out Polly was pregnant, wanted to get away, did the drug thing, like do the pick, and then somehow his dad found out, probably paid the serpents, or, like, did something to kidnap him and keep him there for about a week, and then he shot him in the head, and then basically threatened FP.
Yeah.
By saying, I don't know, like, when he basically said, for some, he probably threatened him before, but he said, like, when he went to the police station, he threatened him then, which I don't think is 100% true. I think he probably threatened him earlier.
Yeah.
But basically saying, like, hey, you were gonna, like, if you, like, I'm just, like, if anything comes up and, like, you're gonna confess to everything, or else I'm gonna kill Jughead. Basically. And I'm like, oh. Good for you, FP, except for, you know, everything.
Not.
Well, like, and I was thinking about this because, like, so, like, probably, I'm not sure what charges are going to get dropped, but it might go down to, like, a second degree thing. Because, like, his motivation is, like, hey, if I didn't do this, my kid was going to die.
Yeah, he was an accomplice. He didn't actually do the murder.
He didn't do anything. I think all he did,
cleaned up. He cleaned
up the body.
He kidnapped and kind of ate it.
Well, like, because I was, like, looking at this and they kind of said this. I think Clifford, like, forces them to kidnap him. So even that's not even a charge. Yeah, well, that's something that you could get charged for it, but you can fight that in court. So Molly Ringwald's a lawyer, okay? We will get her in there. Molly Ringwald. Come back, Molly Ringwald. Come back, please. We need a responsible adult in this show. Because we don't have especially after that season finale, we need a responsible adult around here. I think we'll get to that at the end of this, because it really has nothing to do. I mean, that's going to be a huge thing in season 2. So, well, because I was thinking about it. Yeah, this is kind of like Veronica Mars, which you haven't seen. I haven't. I will show you that show. You'll love it. Because basically, at the end of each show is like a mystery, right? Each season's a mystery, and like by the end of the season, you know what happened. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's what Riverdale's going to be. There's going to be a mystery every season. Yeah. With Riverdale, it kind of makes sense. Yeah. So they set up the mystery. So I think we should probably split up. So Fred Andrews gets shot randomly. Randomly. At a robbery with a guy with his mask on. Mm-hmm. I think we can kind of connect to the lodges. I don't know. Probably because he didn't sell a share. Oh. But he wasn't even like trying to. But it looked like it was just a holdup because he had the one guy who runs the place. How do you know that wasn't a setup? Because like you couldn't just come in and shoot him. It's true. Damn. And like probably knew that Archie was going to be there and Archie was going to do something. And Who shot Fred Andrews? Also, that's the question. We were talking about who hired him. We were talking about do we think is going to die? Usually when somebody gets shot, I tend to like look at where they got shot. Mm-hmm. It's like right here. Which I'm not sure if there's any like major organs there. No, well, it was close enough in, you could get the stomach, and if you get the stomach, you're done. Like, it's hard to get. I don't think they're gonna kill Fred. I don't know. It could go either way. I honestly, I think they're gonna make it seem like they're gonna try to prolong that as long as possible. I honestly don't think he's gonna die because I think that'd be it'd be a little too easy. Yeah. But it's not going to be easy. Like, I don't think we're going to come back in that first episode and he's going to be like alive and well. I think we're going to wait a while. He's going to be in the hospital for a while. Well, apparently the first episode of season 2 was called A Kiss Before Dying. All right, well, I'm done. All right, see ya. Bye. Bye. Anyway,
so anyway, Riverdale.
But if you think about it, because that means that he can't take care of Archie, which means Molly Ringwald can come back.
Yay!
Yay! I love Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, she's good.
So yeah, that's basically like the basic plot of the show. Well, not the basic plot of the show. There's a ton of Elsa.
Yeah. Well, this is the overarching storyline.
And the incest. And the shooting.
Plus incest and a shooting. But yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that goes on, especially in the first half of the season. The first half of the season really focuses a lot on those high school kind of issues. Like, it's very like kids in high school. And the second half is like really kind of focuses on a lot of the more adult stuff.
But they kind of do focus. There's like a lot of murder stuff that goes on. Not murder stuff, like high school stuff.
Yeah.
Especially episode 10. That's a home. It's a high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of high school going on.
Okay, so I remember writing a bunch of stuff about like certain episodes.
Yeah.
I mainly read about episodes like 8, 9, and 10 because like I was watching them.
Yeah.
And I remember I wrote sexy men doing construction.
That's the only note for the whole episode.
Kind of.
Sexy men doing construction.
Oh, and then because I was talking about this thing about Polly having twins, and I'm like, God, I hope not.
Mm-hmm.
She does. Well, she doesn't have the twins yet.
Yeah.
Everybody's crazy.
Everybody's crazy.
And then there's other stuff I know that I wrote, but I need to talk about like the characters. Okay, so I wrote out like semi like character things for kind of like I'd say like the main characters, which I like the main kid characters, and then they added their parents in there, saying if they were crazy or not. So it's Archie, Betty, Veronica, Jughead, and Cheryl. I think are the main.
Oh yeah.
So Archie. Apparently, he was kind of like a scrawny kid, and then he got buff.
He got beef.
I feel really weird.
Working
like,
during the summer.
He's like shirtless a lot. I feel weird as a 24-year-old, and knowing they kid you out like 20. Yeah. I feel weird.
Because you want to be like, but then you're like, oh, he's supposed to be like
legal
16.
Though. He's legal. No, not that. The fact
the
that he's
actor
like,
is, but
the actor's 20.
The character.
Like a lot of these actors are actually pretty young.
Cole Sprouse is older than us.
He's 25.
Yeah.
He's the oldest, though. But, like, I figured out, like, the girl who plays Cheryl and the girl who plays Veronica are, like, 23.
Uh-huh.
And then Betty and Archie are 20.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's kind of young for high school.
It's still kind of that.
Cole Sprouse looks like he's in high school. Let's face it.
True. Yeah.
And then I wrote Bug, got buff, bailed Jughead to get laid. Who wouldn't? Also, it had an affair. The first rep says he has an affair with a manipulative teacher.
Yeah.
Who turned out to be I said manipulative bitch.
Yeah.
Which I said doesn't really matter because I have a feeling it's not going to come back.
But she tries to like have a sob story, be like, "Oh no, I was abused." I'm like, abuse doesn't excuse the fact that you're abusing a child.
Anyway, and then his kind of like plot line, even though it's not that interesting, or just kind of like the least interesting.
Yeah.
His plotline is he's Troy Bolton.
Yeah, basically.
He's Troy Bolton.
Why am I feeling so wrong? My head's in the game, but my heart's
like he plays football and he wants to get into music.
Yeah,
and he's a mediocre musician.
He's all right.
I feel the last
he's
song,
like good for a high schooler, but he's not like great.
I feel like it could probably be a thing. Is like he's good for high school. If he went to college and actually trained, he could be okay.
Yeah. So I think that's really what they're trying to get over. And
then there's like a kind of feud between like him and his dad for a bit because his dad's like not sure about the musician thing, which I kind of get because like his thing is like, oh, like you can get a football scholarship,
right? Which
is true, and then if you just go to music, money, I get like a career wise, I get it. And then Miss Grundy's kind of like, well, he's got talent. His dick's got a lot of talent. So much talent. So like you don't trust Miss Grundy.
Yeah.
But then after that, Fred Andrews becomes awesome.
Yeah. At first he just seems like a regular kind of dad. But then he seems like he's a good dad. He's a good dad.
And then, so the beginning of the show, like because the big thing in the comics is the Archie, Betty, Veronica love triangle.
Yes.
And they kind of set that up a bit.
At the first few episodes, they're really trying to.
They set up that Betty really likes Archie.
Yes.
Archie probably doesn't.
Archie's thinking about that old lady V.
A lot.
And
then also he kisses Veronica in the first episode.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And then I kind of like, because like Betty gets upset and he kind of says to her like, I don't have a thing for you. I kind of like that he was honest.
Yeah.
So that was that. I think like comparing him to his character in the comics. Mm-hmm. In the comics for me, he was also the least interesting character. I called him like a bland, lovable douchebag in the comics.
Yeah.
Who's kind of addicted to the fact that like he just keeps stringing these girls along.
Right.
That's not, and he also sometimes dates Cheryl and he dated Valerie in the comics a bit I read.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of not a good guy. Mm-hmm. And in the show, He's a bland, lovable idiot.
Yeah, I think that kind of a lovable douchebag kind of thing is really apparent in the first few episodes.
But then he kind of
gets better.
He gets better
because he tries to kind of.
Well, I'm kind of wondering now the fact that his dad's shot. I think they want to give him more to do because he really didn't have much to do this season that involved the main plot. Mm-hmm. He had nothing to do with that. Mm-hmm. Except for maybe the business stuff, but even then he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he really wasn't. The only way he was involved was because he knew everyone else that was involved. He wasn't actually.
And he cared about everybody who was involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. And I think there was like one point in episode 10, like episode 10 is kind of like where a bunch of like stuff gets like dropped. Mm-hmm. And with Archie, the big thing is like that they really had an affair with Miss Grundy.
Yeah.
And somebody's saying he had mommy issues. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's got issues because like he dates.
Kind of.
He gets with a teacher. That ends poorly. Then he gets with Val, like, right away.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, eh.
Yeah, he needs some time off.
He needs some time. Like, I feel like I think he's got some relationship issues. They break up because he's not being a good boyfriend, which is true. Then he goes to Veronica pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. I like them as a couple, though. But I feel like this isn't going to end well. But at least for now.
Oh, it's not.
For now, at least.
For now, it's not gonna.
Like, they've both been through some stuff.
Yeah.
Veronica probably more.
Yeah. She's been through a lot of shit.
And then what else? I wrote his dad is the best and the most sane, which is true.
Yep, true.
So.
Bless for Fred Andrews.
Come on, Luke Perry, sign that contract.
Come on, Luke Perry. Just a few more episodes. Come on.
He's fine. So he didn't have much to do this season. I feel like they want to give him more to do.
Oh yeah,
and like
he's going to be directly connected to the plot next season, unlike he was this season.
I've seen interviews with KJ Up. He seems like a nice kid.
Yeah,
and like it seems like with him like he kind of like grew into acting a bit with this character.
Yes,
I think the first 4 episodes are kind of the weakest.
Yeah, I agree.
Like it feels like everybody's still trying to figure out what they are, and then as they went on, it got better.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think I liked Archie a lot more at the end of the season than I did at the beginning of the season. Because at the beginning of the season, the first few episodes, it was me just going, Archie, well, come on, stop it. Oh, you the girls and the
But like you was being manipulated by a teacher.
The music and the thing. He was still kind of being a,
Yeah, I know.
Idiot. He was an idiot. But like at the end, he was more lovable.
He punched ice to save a woman.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the character also got a lot better as the season went on. So I'm curious to see where they decide to take Archie in the beginning of the second season on.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because like you got to deal with that. I don't know if it's like, somebody's got to take care of him.
Yeah. Molly Ringwald. Please come back. Baby, come back.
Anyway, Betty.
Yes.
I like Betty.
Betty, yes. I really like Betty, too. She's another one I think I like. I like her a lot more towards the end of the season than the beginning of the season. Because at the beginning of the season, she was like...
You know what it felt like? It felt like they're kind of going the arc of the comics a bit, and then they stopped and went their own way, which is probably the best thing the show could have done.
Yes, I agree.
Because like she had a crush on Archie for a bit, and then she got with that Jughead.
Yeah, she kind of really revolved around Archie, I think, for the first couple episodes, and then she kind of grew into her own.
Well, the thing is, like she found
her sister and doing the paper and all that stuff.
Because I remember there was a point with the murder. There was a point where like Jughead and Betty found out that Dylan shot the gun the 4th of July, and then they went to him saying like, "You did this. Like, what's going on?" And then he basically says like, "I saw Miss Grundy at the beach," and then she flips out because like they automatically think it's just because like Miss Grundy and Archie are banging, which I know they were, but like they could have both been there for different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, Jughead knew.
They were banging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was upset about that and just, like, is going on Nancy Drew. Her Nancy Drew stuff's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's, watching her figure stuff out. Like, it's a good time.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to talk about the Bughead relationship yet until we get to Jughead.
Let's wait till, let's talk about relationships after the characters.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, we talk about, like, who Archie gets with, but, like, so...
Because, that's kind of Archie's whole character, really.
It's getting with girls.
Getting with girls. It really is. It really is.
And basically her character is just figuring out what happened, specifically involving Polly, who was her sister.
Yep.
And who she thought was crazy. And then the whole thing, like we said, like, found out that she's pregnant with Jason's baby. Not, her parents are very crazy. They run the newspaper.
Yep. Run the local newspaper.
And they keep, like, saying stuff. Like, about, like, they keep, like, lying to her constantly, and she gets really upset about that. She's like, can you just, like, tell me the truth? And they find the whole incest thing. you find out in the last episode she has like an older brother.
Yeah, she has a secret brother.
Yeah, that was the thing. And like for a while I thought, because like I kind of figured, because like there was a point where they wouldn't say it, but like that Polly said with her dad, because like he set up an appointment.
An appointment.
It's for an abortion. Anyway, and then her mom gets upset at the dad because basically you did the same thing probably you did to me. And I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah. And then you're like, oh. And then you're like, what happened?
I honestly thought, because like it's revealed in episode 10 that Alice Cooper used to be a Southside Serpent. I thought it might have been a I don't think it would. No, it wasn't though. It's clearly like full-blooded sibling.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
That would have been fucked up. More fucked
drama. It would have been way more drama.
But Buckets.
But it would fit though.
Buckets could still be a thing though. They're not related.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
They just have a sibling in relation.
That'd be weird. God.
I've seen Roseanne, it happens. Anyway. Yeah, so basically that's kind of her character. Mm-hmm. Also, no, actually we forgot to bring this up. She might be crazy. Like, genuinely like mental crazy.
Betty?
Yes.
Yeah, she has a dark side that she talks about. And we get to see it in the one episode where she goes,
that's like the wig, and then she's got like a bra on, and then she just like almost murders Chuck.
She low-key almost totally murders a dude.
I don't know if I have a problem with like the way they portrayed Chuck. Because I was watching like Andre the Black Nerd comedy, and he kind of brought it up, and like how Chuck is not so different. Like they turned him into like an asshole jock in the show.
Yeah.
In the comics, he was kind of like a nice guy.
Yeah.
He was like at that point the only like black guy in the comics, and he was like an artist, and he was a football player, and he was just friendly, and he dated, and he had like a committed girlfriend who was the only other black girl before Valerie.
Redemption arc?
I don't know.
Redemption arc?
Can Jughead punch him again?
Redemption arc.
Can Jughead punch him again?
Maybe. One more punch and then redemption. I was thinking about that as we were I was watching that episode. I was like, are they gonna set it up that he has a redemption arc or no?
I feel like
at the point of redemption, or like you do the stuff that you did, or are you beyond redemption?
Honestly,
I don't know.
I don't care enough.
Yeah,
about Chuck at all.
Yeah, but he's coming back. He's gonna. Do
yeah, he's coming back.
He's gonna do something. I don't know what.
Who knows? Maybe redemption. Who knows? I don't know like what she has. Like basically, like you see the dark side thing. Yeah. It's kind of just like I think it's like if you mess with somebody like her or anybody she loves enough, she'll like snap a bit.
Yep.
And also she has a thing where like she'll clench her fists, and it's so hard.
Yeah.
That like she'll bleed.
Yeah, she gets like the nail marks.
That was weird.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think it's either like multiple personalities.
No, she doesn't have multiple personalities.
Well, I mean, like a smaller version of it.
Okay.
Or apparently there's a thing called Jekyll and Hyde syndrome.
Really?
I think.
Is that like an actual thing?
Let me look it up. I know I've read about it.
Like dissociative identity disorder. But.
That might be it. Oh, that's a book. Oh yeah, it's basically like a dual personality kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the thing. I wonder if it's that. What do we name? There needs to be another name for besides Stark Betty.
Yeah, really. Yeah, really.
Lizzie?
No.
But like her name's Elizabeth.
Oh, true.
Like Lizzie, it could be like a Lizzie Borden kind of. So her name's Lizzie.
We've decided to call Dark Betty Lizzie from now on. We are hereby christening that. I really hope the fandom picks that up.
Please, Riverdale fandom, pick it up, Lizzie. Can we just call? I don't know what to say, Lizzie Borden, because her parents are gonna get axe murdered in the next season.
It's gonna be a good time.
Oh God. So yeah, like I thought they were gonna drop the point that she was crazy because after it was in episode 3, and then it like kind of and then it doesn't get brought up again until episode 10.
Yeah,
I thought they were gonna drop it, and then they didn't. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of like under the surface. We like saw it a little bit. It's definitely that's another thing that's coming back.
Well, then it just like includes the fact that she's not a perfect cheerleader, and Buckhead is perfect for each other. Do not break them up, please. I love them.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Jughead.
Anyway,
calls for Alice.
Wait, did we get to Veronica yet?
I have her in my notes. I have her after
Jughead. Okay, Jughead.
Jughead's kind of a mess.
Jughead is a mess of a person.
I was kind of concerned with that because like they can't change his character a lot.
Yeah.
So like in the comics, he just like ate a ton of burgers. He ate constantly, and everybody never gained weight. And he just kind of like slept around a lot. It was kind of like this like lovable goofball.
Yeah.
And he had like a crown hat. Also, his family was together. Like his parents were still together.
Yeah.
And I think
his family wasn't a mess.
I just remembered this. Ethel.
Yes.
I kept calling Barb for the longest time. Sorry.
Because she's played.
This is my also pointing out my theory that I think Riverdale takes place in the Upside Down.
I love this theory.
If you think about it, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Barb's there, it's fine. Because basically, like, the only person who ever had a crush on Jughead was Ethel. And, like, it was kind of an obsessive thing. Like, kind of like, remember when Steve Urkel got a girlfriend in Family Matters? And, like, Myra?
No.
Oh, okay, it was kind of like that. So, I don't know. I don't think, it doesn't seem like they're going down the route. They might actually, if you think, So who knows? But Jughead in here is different. And, like, I didn't like him at first just because, like, he's like, I'm writing a manifesto. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, stop being a hipster pretentious. And then you just, like, find out so much about him.
Right.
And, like, I think Cole Sprouse does a really good job.
Yeah, Cole Sprouse makes the character fun to watch.
He's fun. He's, like, sarcastic. He does eat burgers, and he's kind of a dick, which kind of Jughead was.
Yeah, well, that kind of, like, sarcastic kind of...
Yeah.
Sardonic is the word.
Yeah. So you don't see much of him for, like, the first couple episodes, except for, like, him find out the murder.
He's not even the first episode.
He's in it for, like, a second, I think.
Yeah, you don't really...
And he narrates the show.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like the show narrator.
Yeah, so then you find out that, like, he's homeless, his dad is in a gang, and a drunk.
And his mother and sister
are
moved
gone?
to another state to get away from it all.
And for some reason, Jughead didn't go. I feel like probably Jughead just, like, said, like, I want to stay here, which I get, because, like, all his friends are here, and, like, he probably had believed in his daddy a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
So, like, he lives in the movie theater for a while, and that gets closed down, or the drive-in. And then he moves into the school.
Yep.
And then some other relationship stuff happens.
Yeah.
And then he thinks, like, his dad, like, kind of wants to get better because he used to work for Fred Andrews, and they owned the company together, and then FP did something stupid.
Yeah.
And then Fred had to buy him out.
Yep.
And then, like, he became, like, a drunk, part of Southside Servants, blah, 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 blah. And then, but he's still a drunk, and just, like, I like FP. I just want this family to get together. And, like, anytime, like, they're together, and he keeps saying, I'm gonna get better, and then Jughead starts crying, I'm just like, oh, the feels.
Jughead cries a lot.
There's a lot of feels.
So sad.
And then he goes to live with Archie, which is probably the best place for him.
Yeah. The most, like, stable, like, family in this whole goddamn show.
It's not even that stable, it's just Archie and Fred.
Yeah. Still stable, though.
That's true.
It's a lot more stable than, like, anyone else here.
So, like, he's living with Jughead. So then, like, they live together. I mean, his big thing is kind of just, like, the Bughead relationship, which, like, when we get to... I want to talk about Veronica for a bit, and then we'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of his big arc. And then... but then his father gets accused of murder. That whole spiel. And then, near the end, you find out that, like... Yeah, like, okay, he didn't do the murder, but he did a bunch of other shit. Who's still going to jail. Jughead doesn't have anybody. And then I think Fred at this point was, like, willing to, like, be a legal guardian. Then we learned something about a DUI.
He mentions that the one reason why they can't be legal guardians to Jughead is because after Fred and his wife had separated, they, like, I guess he kind of implies that, you know, it was kind of a shit time for him, and he had a DUI right after that, and that was the thing that prevented
Is that
them.
a thing? Like, if you have one incident, you can't...
It's that, I mean...
I don't know if...
Like, yeah, like, I mean, if you want to, like, go to, like, guardianship and stuff, it's, like, super difficult.
I've always
a really
wondered,
long process.
I've always wondered if it's, like, different between, like, let's say, like, an 8-year-old and, like, a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously there's a difference in, like, the age, like... I would get if somebody had DUI and, like, they were going to take care of an 8-year-old, you might say no. But, like, if it's, like, a 16-year-old, I don't know. I don't know laws.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, like, too familiar with it, but, yeah.
So then he gets into a foster home and he gets into the South Side High.
South Side High, and he goes, a thing?
And he's like, this is where I belong. And, like, they're freaking out about that because, like, FP said to Archie, like, he's going to push away, but you need to stick by him. You got, like, you and Betty are, like, the best thing in his life.
Right.
And, like, that kind of thing. And then, but then it turns out he's actually not that bad at Southside.
No, he's actually making friends.
Well, there's, like, a part where, like, the people are ganging up on him, and then they're, like, laughing. And I'm just like, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, he's actually getting on.
And then, during, like, the sexy time scene, there's, like, this bit where, like, I don't know if he joins the Southside Serpents.
He kind of low-key joins the Southside Serpents.
Which... Like, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's kind of Jughead.
That's Jughead.
Like, I would say he's probably my second favorite character.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like Jughead a lot. He's definitely up there.
Do you have, like, a favorite character?
I don't know. I'm kind of... I go back and forth on a couple of them.
I have a favorite.
Okay.
Jughead's my second favorite.
All right.
Veronica, who I said I like. Her story is actually kind of interesting because she said she was like a bitchy girl back to her old school.
Yes, yeah, this is a big point I really like about her character.
And then she's trying to redeem herself because you learn that she was really mean to this. Her and her friends were really mean to this one girl, and she tried to commit suicide. Or almost did.
No, she moved schools.
Oh yeah, she moved schools.
Yeah.
And that like messed her up so much that she's like, you know what,
I'm gonna realized that like, oh, like being a mean girl like isn't actually all that great.
She's like trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And like even like because like she finds out that like Ethel's family like was involved in like this whole thing that her dad did.
Yeah.
And like is trying to do the right thing and is like generally distraught.
Yeah. And she feels like she has to kind of make up for the terrible things her parents have done.
Yeah, and like for a while, like her and her mom seemed kind of normal.
Yeah.
And then her mom just like went.
Yeah.
Kind of bitchy.
Yeah. Like her mom would like start really caring about the business and stuff.
And not like, yeah. And I'm just like, and like, but she still cares about her mom.
Yeah.
I really like Veronica. Like she's not, in the comics she was kind of bitchy, but like she cared about Betty a lot. Like that was weird because they were in a love triangle, but they were still best friends.
Yeah. And
like even like though like she's a new girl, like we'll say it's like all the actors have really good chemistry.
Yeah,
they seem like they get along.
They really do. Yeah, that's a huge positive of the series, that there's a lot of interaction between characters, and it's all really well done, I think. But yeah, I really love that about Veronica's character, that we don't have to see her do something bad and then go into her redemption arc. She starts the story off in her redemption arc, as far as we just hear about all the kind of crazy stuff she did when she was living in New York. And so we don't get to see that, and we don't have to see it. We really don't. Like we already know, we've seen so many stories before of the mean girl doing things that we don't really need to see it anymore. We can actually take time to explore what it means to like go through that redemption arc, and that's a really cool thing to see. And like Veronica, she takes it a lot on herself to want to be able to kind of right those wrongs that she's done in the past. And so I think that really makes her an interesting character, where she can kind of have that not mean girl persona, but she like has that kind of mindset, but she uses it for good. And I think that's a really cool character that we don't get to see explored a lot this early in a series.
Yeah. And also probably she has like the second least to do with the whole plot, I think.
Kind of. It
might involve her dad.
More as we go on. Like, definitely more as, like, they start really
for a while, they think that, like, her father might have been involved in the murder. Turns out he wasn't.
Yeah.
There's, like, the business stuff that the adults are doing.
There was a red herring there, as far as,
So, like, she's basically the red herring, like, aspect. So, we're just kind of like, okay, but, like, she's actually a good, like, well-rounded character. I'm not sure what they're going to do with her next season, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
I think she'll probably stay a pretty static character, because where she's at now is a good place, and I don't really see.
Well, it looks like they're going to bring the love triangle back in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're definitely going to bring that love triangle back in.
Yeah, they are. We'll get to that
because that is kind of. Well, I mean, that was a staple. It sounds like it was like a staple.
It's the staple.
Yeah, of the original art.
I just thought they were going to cut it out because like it just felt like I don't think it's works well for the show.
It felt very forced. It felt like, I think in the beginning, because it felt like they had to do it. Because that's what Archie.
But they could honestly, I think they could fit it in. It's considering like what's happened.
Yeah,
I think they could fit it. And finally, as main characters go, there are like a bunch of other characters.
Yeah, there's a huge cast of characters.
There's like Reggie, who I found out they actually recasted.
Did they?
They recasted it because the actor was also in 13 Reasons Why, and there was a scheduling issue. So, but he wasn't in it that much. Reggie doesn't really matter that much in the season. But we'll get to my favorite character, who is Cheryl.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah. She's crazy, but she's fun.
Here's the thing. Okay, first of all, her hair and makeup and wardrobe are always on point. I love it.
And sponsored by CoverGirl.
Sponsored by CoverGirl. Oh my god, the CoverGirl.
I wish I had something from CoverGirl so I could just like literally shove it in the camera.
Wait,
wait, please get this out because I have a gag.
Shit, hold on.
This is very important.
Yeah, do it for me. I'll be right back.
CoverGirl.
Oh, no, I don't. I thought this was, but it's Maybelline.
Now we can't get sponsored by CoverGirl.
Damn it. Maybelline.
Get in.
Just like, let's put the logo in. Put the logo in, it'll be fine. Yeah, those cover. I don't mind it because like it's kind of like if this is the only way the show's gonna get made, but it's so blatant.
It's like there's so many things where it's like, oh. And like characters are just applying there's so many scenes where just characters applying makeup, and if you take the product placement out of it, it's so
they also have like the behind the scenes thing saying like this is how we did this person's makeup.
Oh yeah, and like every commercial break. Anyway, Cheryl Blossom
is I love her.
Yeah,
like she is the bitch.
She is the bitch.
But she's got some like her I want her wardrobe. Like the two things I wanted were like Jughead's hat
Oh, yeah.
And then all of Cheryl Blossom's wardrobe.
Yeah.
It's like gothic.
Yeah.
And like awesome. And like her hair is magnificent. And her makeup's always like on point. She's got some like great lines. Like she's got some of the best lines. Like I wrote down a couple of them. There was one in episode 10, which I forgot about. She's like talking after the dance off.
Oh yeah.
And she's like upset with her friends about like not like standing up for her, and then she's just like, "Shoot, bitches." And then my favorite one is in episode 9, where it's like the whole like syrup convention whatever thing, and she goes over to Archie's house to give him a guitar for like helping her out. Oh, she says, "Fran Andrews, you're looking extremely dilfy today," and I'm like, "I love you."
It's true.
She's got some great lines.
She does. And, like, another fun character. It's interesting because even though she's, like, the bitch, she's not, like...
A bitch.
She's not irredeemable.
Here's the thing.
She's not towards that point where it's like you hate her. And it's weird because the characters don't even hate her. Like,
no.
They dislike her at times and they are really annoyed with her at times. But there's other scenes where they're like, hanging out. And so, like, it's one of those things where it's that kind of weird in-between ground. And it's not, like, this very black and white issue, which I really like.
Here's the thing, why I also like her, because her motivations are always constant. Yeah. She never diverges from her motivations, which is her brother. She wants to know what happened to her brother.
Yes.
So basically, and like if she does something bitchy, sometimes it's just because, like the one, like she does like actually publicize that like Polly was missing, but she was doing that because she thought that Polly killed her brother.
Right.
She gets upset anytime something involves her brother. And I like that, because it's just like clear that this is like, she's going to do whatever she can to save her brother, or like find out who killed her brother. And like there's even the point where like, because like in episode 12, Jughead for some reason goes to school after everything that happened and goes up to Joe to apologize, and she like slaps him, and I was kind of upset for like a quick second, but then like and like beating on him, but like you see her face and she's just like really up, like
distraught.
It's not like a she's not like doing it as of just like a you bastard kind of thing, like even though Jughead didn't do anything, it's just kind of like I can't like and I think if Jughead understood, he's just like okay.
And it's really interesting to kind of see like how she processes grief for the whole season, because like it does kind of go back and forth between like she seems fine and she's doing her like regular.
Well, I think she's trying to show to everybody else.
But you see her break down a lot. Which I think she's
trying to show to everybody else like she's fine. Yeah, but like she's clearly not. And there's like even the bit of the funeral where like she's like she tells a story about like how she and Jason, she always wanted to have separate birthday parties with Jason, and Jason always said no because nobody likes Cheryl. So she make them always happen together. And basically like, you were always there for me and I wasn't there for you. And I'm just like,
Yeah, so she's a good character.
I feel like they're going to develop her more in season 2 after what happened in the final episode. Because like basically, like you see her and just like, she does not wearing any makeup. And she's like letting Veronica be the captain. She gives Jughead her weird spider brooch.
Yeah.
It was really weird spider brooch. Because it looks like, I remember the first time I saw it, I thought it was a spider.
Just like a straight up spider on her.
Also, she tries to go with Archie like in episode 9, but that's like doesn't really matter. They're probably going to get together at some point anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, she was exhibiting those like classic signs.
I'm just like, oh no, I'm like, you're going to kill yourself.
Yeah, there's those classic signs of like giving away things and doing that.
And like at that point, I'm kind of like, oh honey. Because like at that point, like she knows that her father killed her brother. Yeah. Her father's dead.
Yep.
Everything's just going to shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that means that probably maybe Cheryl and Chuck. Anyway, we're not dealing with that right now.
Oh no. Okay, yeah.
Think about it. Anyway,
let's move on.
So then, like she wears the outfit that she was wearing. It's a white dress, and then she like goes onto the ice.
Winter.
And then, she's trying to like break the ice so that she can drown. And then the gang goes and saves her, and like Archie just smashes into the ice. Archie smash. Good for him.
Yeah.
And then they save her. And then she burns down the mansion.
Yeah. Yep. She just, because she's crazy.
She is crazy, but I love her.
She's
She's crazy, but she's got complex.
She's complex.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Best word I think we can use for her. She's a very complex character, which is great.
I think like with most of these characters, they're not just like stereotypes. Yeah. I think the closest thing, especially with the main cast, you could say the stereotype is Archie, but I think they're working on getting that better.
Yeah, and I think we're about to see what they're going to do with that in the next season. Yeah. That's where I think we're really going to see what they want to do with his character. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of the characters are very complex. Like, they're not like
good job, CW.
They can be like very over the top, but still like they have a lot of different layers to them. I think
Riverdale, man.
Riverdale.
Want to talk about relationships now?
Oh yeah, let's go into it.
Do you want to talk about like probably the biggest one, or do you want to talk about the smaller ones first? Archie and Val are a thing. Then they're not a thing.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That was fine. She deserves better, probably.
Oh, definitely. Then Archie and Veronica get together. That's probably not gonna. It'll go well for a bit.
Yeah, and we've seen that past couple episodes. Like Veronica's kind of concerned that like Archie's kind of looking at Betty a certain way. Like, are you having feelings? And he's like, no. He's like, I want to have what they have or whatever. Like,
and it's kind of like we said it in the commentary, just like he thinks he's not lying. And like, but like
he knows what he wants.
He thinks he knows what he wants, but like he's lying. And I think you know what I'm kind of wondering with Love Child thing. I think he might just be jealous because like his best like Betty was always available and now she's not. Because there's a big relationship which is Bughead. I love Bughead, which by the way is not canon in the comics.
No,
not at all.
No,
because like for a while I know like some people were upset because like it was like said that like Jughead was asexual.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Yeah,
I would from what I've like read because I never actually read a comic or stated that he was asexual.
Okay.
Apparently, it was only said in, like, one issue.
Yeah.
And according to, like, other comics that I read, like Betty and Jughead were, like, really good friends. And he ever said, like, if I ever got with a girl, it would be Betty.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
So it's, like it's not us. It's the kind of a stretch to get them together. But I honestly, like, with the asexual thing, like, obviously, like, I'm, like, do whatever you want in your life. It's cool. I'm happy with everything.
Okay.
But, like, for, like, a CW show where they want to do relationships.
Okay.
That's my thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying, like, from somebody who understands kind of, like, marketing demographics, it kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I want to talk about the asexual thing. That's a really important thing.
Also, they're so cute.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's finish talking about the relationship, and then I want to touch on the asexual
Well, and
thing.
also the fact that, like, Cole and Lily are dating in real life, which is, like, so cute. It's so cute. They're just, like, two... Like, I think our biggest problem, like, in the beginning was the fact that, like, especially with Betty, she wasn't in a good emotional state to be in a relationship.
Right.
And I'm just like, this is not going to end well. Because, like, the only reason you're getting with him is because, like, he's helping you out, like, figuring out what's going on with your sister. And you just, like, want the attention. And I'm just like, oh, my God, this is going to end terribly. And I was really upset because they were kind of cute together. And then episode 10, when he gets self-aware and, like, Jughead just, like, goes off, and it's kind of like... You're, like, the perfect cheerleader. I'm, like, this, like, burnout, like, standard thing. How long is it going to be? Like, once this is done, like, once this whole, like, investigation's figured out, we're, like, basically, you know, you're going to break up with me. What happens when Archie wants to get with you, which really pisses her off.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's a good point. I mean, as we see at
the end
of the season, like, it's a good point.
It's an excellent point. So, like, that kind of thing. And then, but then they have that really good scene in the diner where she's like, I'm not perfect, I'm crazy, look at my hands, and like, they're just so... they have great chemistry.
They do, yeah.
That's why I like a good romance.
Yeah.
You want to go?
You're sucker for that romance. Okay. Yeah, no, one of the big things I wanted to touch upon was that whole asexual thing, because I think I said before, I didn't know a lot about the original Archie comics, but one of the few things I heard was that, like, I think it was a couple of years ago, in one of the, like, the recent runs of the comics, one of the more recent writers, they decided I mean, based off of, like, years of, like, canonical evidence, like, go out and say Jughead identifies as, like, asexual. And, like, that, like, really stood out to me because there is, like, little to no, like, actual asexual representation in media. Like, you don't hear it said a lot. You don't hear it done right a lot. I'm looking at you, Big Bang Theory. I'm coming for you.
Who's asexual in Big Bang Theory?
No, there's one character who's, like...
Sheldon?
Yeah, but he's not. But they don't say it, and, like, it... I
don't watch Big Bang Theory.
I don't want to get into it.
Okay, go ahead.
But, so... Like, that really stood out to me as, and, like, going to the show, I was like, oh, there's an asexual character in this. That's super cool. I want to see how that's going to go. And then I think one of the creators of Riverdale said, like, oh, right now we're not going to take that, like, we're not going to go that direction. And so, like, and I know a lot of people, like, weren't very happy about that. And, me included, because, okay, so I'm getting real here. So I identify on the asexual spectrum. So, like, asexual representation is, like, super, super important to me. We don't see it a lot in media. I think there's only been, like, I can count on maybe one hand how many characters have, like, said the word asexual, like, identified as asexual. Super recently, I know BoJack Horseman, I don't watch that, but a character, like, that's a thing in one of the one of the characters in there, and that's super cool, and it sounds like they handled it really well, and I'm really excited about that. But so we had this kind of opportunity to explore an asexual character in a show, and I think people think that if you don't have romance, it's boring. But like romance is like there's so much of it, and there's asexuality is a whole myriad of things. Like you can be in a romantic relationship and be asexual. Like you can not like romance at all and be asexual. I know in the Archie comics, our Jughead is portrayed more as like an aromantic asexual, so like no relationships, no anything. So yeah, it was. I think it was a little disappointing to me for them to go that road because it's just one of those things you don't see a lot, and it was a really good opportunity to finally have a character kind of explore that. And like, you know, there was a part of me that was hoping, I'm like, oh, maybe it'll get brought up because like you can still be in a relationship and be asexual. But like, and especially with like that whole last episode, it was like really kind of threw my hopes out of the window there, and really hurt me.
I kind of wonder if they're going to introduce the character as asexual.
Yeah, but hey,
like, would you be upset if they did that? Or like, not upset, but like, would that be okay if they just introduced the character?
It'd be cheap for me. It'd be really, honestly, it would be like,
I just kind of like
leftover. It'd be kind of like saying like, hi, we could have made our one main character and like, you know, this way, but we didn't. And so we're just going to have this other character who, you know, we don't have to really worry about. It's just there for, it's like tokenism. That's it. It would be tokenism.
Yeah, I know. I get, and I understand that. I think honestly, if this was a show on maybe like HBO or like Netflix or like Showtime or like something like that, I think they probably would have done it. Just the fact that it's CW, I'm like, they're not going to go that route.
Right, because
I'm not saying it's
like sex and everything.
And I'm not saying it's, I don't think it's right, but like, I kind of like a marketing brain. Yeah. And like knowing the CW audience. Yeah. So my brain's kind of like, I don't agree with you, but I understand.
Yeah, but it's still like just like a really kind of shitty way to think about things.
I agree. Definitely.
Especially because, well, and some of the asexual characters that are out there, it's more like, they're just like, they either don't say it or they're just like, I'm just not interested in relationships. And they like kind of talk around it, or they say asexual and they're like, great, out, proud, fantastic, love it. But we also don't see a lot of characters kind of explore like, I guess, a coming out arc, which is different, I think, than if you're looking at other types of representation, like gay representation. I mean, a lot of characters we're kind of used to seeing coming out arcs at this point, and more people are like, okay, we get it. Now let's just have that character be a character. But it's kind of almost the opposite with asexuality, I find, where we see a lot of characters who are that way, but we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to kind of explore, like, what does that even mean? Because most people don't even understand what it is.
I kind of want to. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, no. So I was really looking forward to maybe seeing kind of an exploration of that, seeing like, okay, maybe it doesn't start off like thinking that way, but like the more like thinking, like when we go into more of a details of like what a relationship entails, how certain people feel about certain things, really exploring, and then having kind of an asexual coming out arc would be fantastic. So that's something I really hope for in media. The only time I've seen that heard of is, like I said, in this in the show BoJack Horseman, which I really have to watch so I can like watch it. And I heard it's good, but like having one instance of it is not enough. I think just having like one single character doing it the right way is really not enough. We need more of it. And I mean, and that's with all types of representation. I mean, I speak really passionately about asexual representation because that applies to me. So I think about it a lot, and I really want to see it. But yeah, so that was something that really stood out to me. And something that I looked forward to going into the show. And then once I heard that wasn't going to happen, it was really disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like my demographic as a straight woman, I understand. I know, Caitlin's more interesting than me, it's fine.
We're getting real here.
I like the good dicking.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you, man?
I just found that sexy weird because I'm like, why is Cody Martin having sex? I was just kind of like,
no fornication in my lobby.
Oh. Childhood's ruined again.
Childhood's ruined.
But like we admit that like they're just so cute.
Yeah, no, and like I'm not even saying that they shouldn't be together, because like they can be together and that's fine, because it's also not a mutually exclusive thing. Like you can be in a relationship, you can be in a very happy relationship and still be asexual. Like that's yeah. So like you can do it, but there's a fear, I think, going into it that once a character is in a relationship,
they have to have sex.
Yeah, and they have to, and it's automatically assumed, because just based on most like writers and the people running the show like aren't asexual, so they're not going to get it, and they're not going to understand like the importance of having that kind of character. So I know Cole Sprouse has kind of spoke up and said that like he would like to see the character be asexual. So
good for him, but like he's not in charge.
He's not in charge. No, but I mean it's good to hear that coming from the person who plays the character.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and yeah, those things aren't mutually exclusive. So, because it's like, asexuality is a whole range of stuff. It's not a kind of a one size fits all kind of thing. So I could go into a very, very long
I think we're going long enough.
Yeah. No, so I'll stop. But,
well, maybe Sabrina the Teenage Witch will be asexual. They're bringing her in the show.
Are they actually?
Yeah. Because like she's part of the Archie universe.
Yeah, I know. I knew.
And like I would say like, how are you gonna bring like the witch like supernatural stuff? And I'm just like, you know
Halloween episode.
You could do it.
Halloween episode.
They're apparently thinking about casting Dove Cameron. Do you know who she is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're thinking about casting her
on the Disney Channel.
I've only seen her in Descendants.
The Disney Channel. She was in that show.
Liv Maddie?
Yeah.
That's a weird name.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's like about twins.
So Bucket's probably the most, like, I'd say most interesting relationship.
It's the most prominent, I think.
Probably because especially with canon, it didn't, like, nobody was, I don't think anybody was expecting it because it's, like, not canon.
Right.
And, like, I think, like, I read somewhere, like, if, like, at the points where, like, Jughead, like, if you did ever want to put him with somebody, it would probably be Betty. And, like, there might have been, like, ideas, like, maybe they were into each other a little bit in the comics. But you always, like, again, with the love triangle.
Yeah.
Before we get to what we think about what's happened in season 2, do you have any, like, favorite moments, least favorite moments, dumb moments? We kind of went through a lot.
Yeah, we kind of talked about a lot of the different stuff that happened.
I just kind of like the fact that this show is like a combination of like a CW show and like the comics a little bit, and then just like somebody said like Twin Peaks, which is like I've never actually seen Twin Peaks, so I don't know.
I haven't watched Twin Peaks, and I feel really bad for that. I feel like I'm really lacking on that nerd card.
I know we do.
It, so
and then really also, I said it was like kind of like a gothic like horror kind of thing. So it's like
and it has its own feel to it, I think. It has
what I like.
It has a style.
I think the positive.
I really like it.
Here's the thing. Like, the show's not great, but I think what works about it is that it knows what it is.
Yep.
It is its own thing.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that's kind of... I don't know if it's... I honestly, like, if I say anything that's, like, I didn't like was just, like, everything with Miss Grundy.
Yeah.
But I feel like it doesn't matter. And, like, the first 4 episodes were just kind of, like, Mm-hmm. And then, like, episode 5, it kind of kicked off.
Right. Yep.
So season 2. I learned this. I didn't know this. Apparently, they got picked up for 22 episodes instead of 13.
Oh, really?
So that could be interesting because, like, I'm kind of worried because, like, sometimes, like, when I see a show jump from like a small amount of episodes to like a full season, it might not go well because like, you don't know what to do with the extra time.
Right. Like you have to find a way to kind of feel those like kind of stretched.
Granted, we have a lot that could happen.
There's plenty that could
Two-Shot Fred Andrews. The love triangle, Jughead being a gang member. You can bring it back, like, stuff going on with Kevin. Mm-hmm. Bring back Reggie. I don't know.
Oh, Kevin. I really like Kevin. I like Kevin, too. Yeah, we didn't really talk about Kevin, but I really like him as a character.
I really like him, too. I think they're going to give him more to do next season. I have a feeling, because, like...
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have much to do, but, like, except for the fact that, like, a Southside Serpent was dating.
Yeah.
They were cute, too.
Yeah, they were.
They were so cute.
Yeah, even though, like, he was kind of using him.
But it felt like he was kind of good.
But he also liked Jum, so it was all conflicting. And then is he going to come back?
I hope so. I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, because they quite literally put him on a bus.
I hope he does.
I hope he does, too.
Or, like, and then bring him... No, because then Kevin goes to another guy, and then it's another love triangle.
I'm okay with this. It's a different type of love triangle. I'm very okay with this.
So for a while, I was kind of like I don't know. I think that with the Fred Andrews thing and getting shot, I think it's something to do with the law. Just because, like, literally, like, it was kind of like, he said he wasn't going to get it. He said he wasn't going to sell a share. Then the sex scenes, then the breakfast scene, and then him getting shot. So it kind of works.
Business, sex,
I like the song that they were playing. That's a good sex song.
Yo, music. The Believer by Imagine Dragons?
Yeah, that's a good sex song.
Is that really a good sex song?
I liked it.
Hey, if you want, you do whatever you want to do to whatever kind of music you want to do. It's
Thank you.
I'll be over here doing my thing.
I didn't pay that much attention to the music. I think, what were your opinion on the music?
Oh, I love the music in the show.
Okay.
I like the music in the show is really catchy and it fits the whole style of it.
Except for Archie songs.
So, Archie songs,
they're like mediocre.
They sound like a high school boy writing songs. Like
he could get better.
Like they're on like the same round as like songs I write. Like yeah. So anyway, check out my music on SoundCloud, everyone. My music isn't on SoundCloud. But it's on my personal YouTube channel. Anyway.
There you go. So that thing, and then also, because I wasn't sure if they're going to bring back the love triangle, but then watching episode 13, they're bringing in the love triangle.
Oh yeah, they're bringing that back, the full force. And I feel like that's going to be a lower point of next season because I feel like they don't know how to handle it. Because like in the beginning of the first season, it felt forced.
And then they stopped it.
Yeah, and so I feel like...
You think it's going to go slowly?
I'm not sure how they're going to handle it, but I'm afraid that they're not going to know how to handle it the right way.
I think if they take it, like, if they just, like, slowly work it, they can work it out. Mm-hmm. Because here's my thing. So, like, obviously in episode 13, you have Archie and Betty, like, basically, for some reason Veronica just, like, announces that, like, they're a couple, or, like, that they kiss.
Veronica's like, yes! And then Archie's like, we kissed. And I'm like, that's all you're going to say?
Well, because, like, Veronica, and I guess I kind of like that Veronica's kind of like, I know you liked Archie, I want to tell you this.
Yeah.
Good for her. Archie and Betty have a conversation, basically like, no, we're happy together, and Archie just kind of gets a look. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, eh. Mm-hmm. And then Veronica and Jughead have a scene.
But it was cut short.
It was cut short. I don't really remember. Just like...
Cheryl interrupted.
Yeah, but like, it looked like they were going to have a talk about that.
Okay, yeah, because we haven't really seen Jughead and Veronica really interact. Because most of the time we're talking about Jughead, about like who he's close to, it's only Archie and Betty. Archie and Betty. Mm-hmm. But like I'd really like to see, because they're like a foursome. So I'd really like to see Jughead and Veronica do a little more together.
I kind of remember
explore those relationships. I think.
Well, I kind of remember like for the longest time with Bughead was like they never actually said they're boyfriend and girlfriend for the longest time.
Yeah, and like only towards the end of the season.
I think like by episode 10 they were like, okay, this is it.
Yeah, boyfriend girlfriend.
So like that kind of thing, and like they're saying like, and they think like soulmates thing, which something like high school kids say, but Archie's kind of like
they're soulmates, and I'm like, all right, you're
and I'm kind of like,
calm down.
And I was kind of like, I think it's gonna end poorly, and I'm not sure how they're gonna end up this thing. The second Jughead put that Southside German jacket on, I'm like, we got it.
Oh, we got it.
Yep. No, Betty's not okay with it. They're gonna break up. Mm-hmm. Betty's not okay with it. I have a feeling though, like how long the series goes, I feel like by the end of the series they're gonna be together. Mm-hmm. But they're gonna break up at one point. I don't know about Archie and Veronica forever. Maybe.
I don't think that.
I kind of remember like whenever what's funny.
They can't last long just because of their personalities.
You know what's funny? Whenever I read the comics, like Archie always was like pining more towards Veronica than Betty because like Veronica was like the rich, like
she's cool.
Yeah. And Betty was always Betty. Yeah. Like she's nice and she's the girl next door.
Yeah.
She's the ultimate girl next door.
She is the girl next door.
Minus the crazy parts.
Yeah. But with the twist.
I feel like they're gonna bring that up more. And, like, I feel like, oh my God, Jughead and Betty are going to break up, and she might snap.
He's going to go crazy.
And then I feel like Archie might calm her down, and then...
Ooh, yeah, okay, I see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that. That can happen. Yeah.
And then it might... But that could be a slow progress thing, especially with 22 episodes. So, like, Riverdale... I don't know if you guys started... You're probably done filming at this point, actually. They might not be done editing. Mm-hmm. So, Riverdale creators, like, take this love triangle slowly.
Just kind of
drag it out. You can do it. Yeah, like the second Jughead put on that jacket, I first was mad. I'm like, you're ruining date night.
You're ruining the sexy times. Oh, that's fine.
I mean, I was happy because, like, you know, I'm not sure how okay I am with Cody Martin having sex. Anyway, but like I said, and they're like, your dad didn't like. I just thought it was me saying it was like he says like, your dad didn't like rat on us, so like we'll take care of you. But then the second he put on he just like immediately took that jacket.
He was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna put on the jacket.
And then Betty's just like, Jughead. And I'm just like, oh, we know. I wonder if Cheryl's gonna get involved as well, because I don't know what else I can do with her right now besides the fact that she's homeless.
Yeah, really, the thing with Cheryl is that, like, a lot of her character arc revolved around the Jason murder plotline, and that's that's pretty wrapped up by now.
Yeah, I know, like, and, like, there was a point in episode 9 where, she and Archie kiss, which is the weirdest face for Archie.
Well, like, she kissed him, and he was like, the fuck?
Yeah, but they get together a couple times. Like, there'd be points in the comic where, like, Cheryl's trying to get Archie, and then Betty and Veronica team up to, like, make sure that doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. So, like, go see them together. I don't know why, but I kind of could see Jughead and Cheryl. they're both just not in great places.
Okay.
I'm not saying it'd be a good thing. I'm just saying maybe it's like a one night, like, passionate love-making thing.
Ooh.
Like, one night thing?
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. I'm not really sure. I mean, you think that. You put that on your
I'm just saying, like, if it happened, I wouldn't be... Just thinking, like, they're both really... I mean, I think Jughead's, like, in a better-ish place emotionally. Cheryl's not in a great place emotionally at all. And Jughead's good at... And Jughead's the type of guy we know will just swoop in when a girl's emotionally damaged.
It slides right on in there.
It's, like, fully in there. Look. I do the dirty jokes here, guys. I don't know. What are their plot lines? Because, like, obviously the big thing's going to be who shot Fred Andrews.
Well, yeah, I think the main overarching plot line is going to be related to who shot Fred Andrews.
Also, it's
related to that.
Because Veronica's dad's going to get in jail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Harem is coming back.
So I don't know. Because I was going to ask the question about, like, if there's any other, like, 80s or 90s, like, movie or TV stars that we want to be in Riverdale. Yeah. I was thinking about this. Okay. And I'm just like... I would love it if Hiram Law just played by Judd Nelson.
Why did I know you were going to say that? Back. Why did I know you were going to say that?
Because you know me too well.
Why did I know you were going to say Judd Nelson?
And then Molly Ringwald comes back, and then it's a Breakfast Club reunion.
It's just a literal Breakfast Club reunion.
Don't you forget about me?
Like with a full Breakfast Club like parody episode. We got 22 episodes. We can definitely do one of those.
Can we do it? I want that. I want Ferris Bueller. I want, what else?
Just all the 80s.
Home Alone.
Just all the 80s and 90s movies.
Home Alone, Weird Science, Pretty in Pink, Molly Ringwald in a pink dress.
Yep.
Make it happen. I think this kind of works just like kind of like a throwback to 80s.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the show really is kind of like exists in its own time period.
God, I love this show.
I know. I really do. Like, I really, like, end of the day, I do actually
It's not as big as a train wreck as we thought it was going to be because, like, I think the big thing that makes this work is the actors and the characters.
Yeah.
The characters are, like, and the fact, and, like, just, like, everything's, like, perfectly pretty, it's, like, really well cast. Everybody fits. Mm-hmm. Everybody can tell, everybody gets along. So it works.
And, like, yeah, and everyone involved in the show knows what the show is.
Yes.
And they're not afraid of it.
Yes.
And they're not afraid of it, like, they know it's ridiculous.
Yes.
But they go for it. Yeah. And that's, like, sometimes you just have to take that kind of refuge and audacity, where you just make things so crazy, but it's fun. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's what the show does a lot. Sometimes things get so ridiculous and over the top, like, to the point where they're being so serious that it's funny, but it doesn't make it bad.
Like, there was a bit where, like, we learn about the Blossom Cooper relationships, and Betty's just like, I'm a Blossom? And I'm like, Betty, you're sister. And that was funny, the fact that, like, that's the way she goes to instead of, oh, wait, my sister is carrying incest babies. Are we going to have another pregnancy in this?
We gotta.
Who?
I don't know. If you have any ideas, leave us a comment.
I don't know who, though. Like, I don't think it's going to be any of the main cast.
Who knows?
The other thing I can think of is, like, maybe Betty and Jughead, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No. Nah, we can't keep doing the surprise pregos in the Cooper family.
Kevin will get somebody pregnant.
Hey, wait a minute.
No, Jughead can get Cheryl pregnant. It's fine.
Oh my god.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No. Okay.
Again, I get to see when I say thing. Anyway, so it's on Netflix. The show's on Netflix. If you just want, like, a good time.
If you want a good time, yeah, it's fun.
Even, like, alone, it's a good time. Like, we watched this, like, several episodes alone. It's a good time.
Yeah.
We're messing with each other, but it's a good time. I really like the show. So, this will be out by the time, around the time season 2 comes out. So, catch up as quickly as you can and then watch season 2.
Yeah.
But we're going to be watching season 2.
If you got to the end of this video, you've probably already seen Riverdale, or else you just signed yourself
that's
up
true.
for, like, a hella amount of spoilers.
So, I wish I want to, like, figure, maybe we can, like, do, we'll do, like, a something where we can, like, talk about Riverdale more.
Yeah, I mean, we would love to talk about Riverdale
We're gonna watch, I don't know if we're gonna watch season 2, like, week by week. We're not gonna really do anything like that. Mm-hmm. We'll do another season recap probably around the time if they get renewed for season 3, hopefully.
Definitely, yeah.
So, like, I might actually watch it week by week just to make sure the ratings are good, and then I can keep going.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to see us talk about Riverdale more, let us know. I mean, we really enjoy the show. We really like talking about it. So if you either want to see us kind of how much you want to see us recap, or like when you hear our thoughts on certain things, ask us questions. Tell us what you want to hear. We love to hear back.
Yeah.
Them, so
also, does the CW know for like renewing shows pretty frequently? Like, I mean, Supernatural's been on forever. I don't know how good. I don't know like what the CW's record is. It seems like most of their shows get renewed a lot. Mm-hmm. Like I think every one of I think there's only like 1 or 2 that I've seen that are like ended, like have like been canceled after one season or ended.
No, there's a few.
Oh, okay.
There's a few.
I don't really know. But it seems like most of them, like I think like the shortest. I think iZombie lasted not that long, like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And like most of the shows, like I think The Vampire Diaries just ended. That was like 6 seasons. I think the show could like. If I had a perfect length for this show, it'd be like 5 to 6 seasons.
Yeah.
That's a good length for the show. Maybe
I would say 4.
That could work too.
I would say 4. Because you can't, like, this season ran really well on kind of a shorter format. Like, 13 episodes worked really well.
Yeah, let's see how they go with the longer format.
I see the show lasting really well in not a long-term format. So, like, 4 seasons at top.
Well, let's see how the 22 episode thing does. If it doesn't go well, they might just cut back to 13, which is fine.
Yeah.
So, that's it. I guess that's it. We got to do the other stuff.
Yeah.
Follow us on Facebook at Witty Close Productions. Follow us on Twitter at Witty Close. We're on YouTube at Witty Close Productions. Subscribe to us. We love that you guys are subscribing to us and you like that you're liking the video stuff.
Yeah, it seems like you're liking the video stuff. So thank you.
Email us at wittyclose@gmail.com. I think that's it. Patreon's a thing we're doing
whatever. We're Witty Close Productions on there too. So whatever format you're listening to us on, thank you.
Oh yeah, subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a review.
Rating, review.
Yeah, you'll get the audio just of this on iTunes, but the video will be up on YouTube.
Yeah.
This really long video, probably.
It's really long.
So that's it, and keep watching Riverdale, guys. Peace.